Sierra Leone, people keep talking about Bruno, this legend, this mysterious character, this kind of monster in the forest. But for me, it was more like my son.
In 1998, Bala Amarashikan and his wife, Shamila, were traveling through a village about 150 miles north of Freetown when they saw a weak and sick baby chimpanzee offer for sale. The animal lovers pay €20 for him, suspecting that if he was left without care much longer, he would have probably died. Like most people, Bala and Shamila knew very little about chimpanzee, let alone how to care for a tiny infant. However, with care and attention, the little chimpanzee began to recover and was named Bruno.
I met him in a small village called Matatoka. He was tied to a tree, dehydrated, almost dying. They said, well, the mother was shot. He was brought into the village like a couple of weeks earlier. I was thinking he was just another monkey. I decided to help him, so I actually purchased Bruno for $20 and without knowing what I was getting into.
In 1993, Bala sought advice with Dr. Jane Goodall, the most famous primatologist in the world. The original idea of sending Bruno and Julie to Chimfushi in Zambia was later dismissed in favor of finding a solution within Sierra Leone itself. In 1995, Bala liaised with the government of Sierra Leone and produced a detailed project proposal which include an environmental educational program. Within the year, the proposal for the chimpanzee sanctuary were approved. 100 acres of prime rainforest were allocated for the chimpanzee project, and so the work of creating the sanctuary began. The area assigned to the project is located just 30 minutes drive from Freetown in the Western Area Forest Reserve, now the Western Area Peninsula National Park. The European Union (EU) award a conditional grant of €34,000 to the sanctuary. In November 1995, the sanctuary was officially opened. The chimpanzees were gradually moved to the new site and placed in their new cage.
So we sold the idea to the European Union at that time, and they were able to give us some seed money with the condition that since I had so much inspiration about this, that I have to run the project for the first year before I hand over or whatever. So I turned around from my career being an accountant and became the founder of Tacugama Chimpanzee Sanctuary, and that is how the whole thing started.
During the 1998 political and social turmoil and the interment civil war in the country, in November 1998, World Animal Protection WPA, formerly known as WSPA, supported the building of 3 electric fences covering a total area of 8 acres. There were 21 chimpanzees at the sanctuary. In order to mark the 10th anniversary of the sanctuary, His Excellency, former President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, President Dr. Alhaji Ahmed Tijan Kabar, visited the Tacugama Sanctuary in 2005. Fast forward to 2010, Tacugama Chimpanzee Sanctuary undertook to complete a national chimpanzee census project. Sierra Leone was known to be an important country for the endangered western chimpanzee pathologist virus, but accurate scientific data as to the state of the country chimpanzee population was not available. Previous estimates dated from the 1980s, with a number of orphan chimpanzees continue to arrive at the sanctuary at a significant rate. It has become increasingly urgent to increase understanding of the state of the wild chimpanzee population and how to increase its protection. With the endorsement of the government of Sierra Leone and the support of the PASA, Tacugama raised sufficient funds to start the project. In October 2008, fieldwork commenced in January 2009 and completed in May 2010. The outcome was presented in September 2010. The results of the Sierra Leone National Chimpanzee Census project indicates that the number of chimpanzees remaining in the wild exceed 5,500, and more than half of these are to be found outside protected areas. Despite one priority focus of the Tacugama Chimpanzee Sanctuary being the care of the resident chimpanzees, Tacugama Chimpanzee Sanctuary established an outreach department to begin addressing the causes leading to the high number of orphans arriving at the sanctuary. The outreach program is responsible for conducting biodiversity and social research, as well as raising awareness and sensitizing the local people, stakeholders, government officials, and others through media engagement and environmental education.
We are very much into research and development, because without proper science, without proper conservation research, you cannot really understand the problems. Then that means you cannot mitigate. So because of this, we formed three components within Tacugama. One is the Tacugama Outreach Program, the other one is the Tacugama Environmental Education Program, and the Ecotourism component. And the first one is mainly the conservation research is based on, at least it's trying to address communities' needs and to see what are the problems, what are the drivers behind all these destructions, why these chimpanzee populations are dwindling all the time. Sierra Leone still has about 6,000 wild chimpanzees, and this is critically endangered, the western chimpanzee, and this is something needs to be protected. And this is why Tacugama is forever. We think it's not enough by just being at Tacugama and addressing these issues with orphan chimpanzees.
In 2011, Tacugama Chimpanzee Sanctuary brings in international experts and local stakeholders to conduct a population habit viability assessment, a survey about the future of the population of the wild chimpanzees in the country. Moving to 2013, in partnership with the National Protected Area (NPAA), upgrade the Western Area Peninsula Forest Reserve to its national park status. Due to the outbreak of the contagious Ebola outbreak in the country, the sanctuary closed its operation to the general public in order to protect the animals from contacting the virus. In 2015, Mama P wins the Slide Medicines Award handed out by the Pan-African Sanctuary Alliance. The sanctuary was reopened to the general public. In 2016, the IUCN listed the Western chimpanzee panautologist virus as a critically endangered species on their red list of the threatened species because in the past 24 years, its population has drastically reduced by more than 80% as a result of poaching, loss of habit, and the habit fragmentations due to human activities. Sierra Leone harbors the third largest western chimpanzee population after Guinea and Liberia. Chimpanzees face serious threats in Sierra Leone, including habit loss, hunting, and rotational as a result of the competition within people for resources. Moving to 2017, recipient of the Sierra Leone Soul Queens Commonwealth Camping accreditations due to the Tacugama Chimpanzee Sanctuary effort in preserving the forest around the sanctuary and the water catchment. Welcome Her Royal Highness Princess Anne visit to Tacugama for a second time. Conduct the environmental impact assessment of phase 2 of the existing Bumbuna hydroelectric plant. Chim School, a natural wild production primed in October. In 2018, launched the Loma Mountain National Park project in partnership with the National Protected Agency (NPAA). Host the Tacugama Week, May. Launch the Sustainable Equator Harvesting Project in Sogwini, funded by the Irish Aid. Host the PASA's annual Strategic Development Conference. Continue support for landslide orphans with scholarship and school supplies. 2019, almost 25 years on, it was during the primatologist Jane Goodall's second visit to Tacugama. The government announced the chimpanzee as Sierra Leone's national animal and a new face of tourism. No other nation in the world has the chimp as the figurehead.
I hereby declare the Western chimpanzee troglodytes virus, that's the biological name, as the national animal for Sierra Leone.
Chimpanzees are flagship species for tropical forest and woodland areas and play a key role in maintaining the health and diversity of their ecosystem. And their decline and potential extinction may precipitate the decline of other culturally, economically, and/or ecologically important species. Chimpanzees and their habitat can provide direct and indirect benefits to local communities and other stakeholders and contribute to poverty alleviation through the development of carefully regulated, ecologically sustainable tourism policies along with enterprise and environmental services that forests provide. Protecting Sierra Leone's chimpanzee more variably withhold in habitat benefit closely relates to other domains, particularly in the field of conserving forest diversity, extending and effectively managing protected areas, eliminating illegal trade and wildlife trafficking, developing national and regional legal framework, and protecting key sites. The TCPO carried out census of the Loma Mountain National Park, which confirmed that the area withhold the highest density of chimps anywhere in West and Central Africa. 4.81 chimps, 2 kilometers, with a population of 1,390 chimpanzees. Continued support for landslide orphans with scholarship and school supplies. Launch of Dr. Goodall Root and Stout program in Sierra Leone. In 2020, complete the Sierra Leone First Wildlife Corridor project in Mabonde Moyamba district, connecting the fragment part of along a 7-kilometer stretch funded by the UNDP and Columbus Zoo. Continued support for landslide orphans with scholarship and school supplies. In 2021, receive World Bank backing in partnership with the Sierra Leone Ministry of Tourism and develop a botanical garden and innovation center at the sanctuary. Announce plan to develop Sierra Leone's first eco-tourism circuit. Tacugama Chimpanzee founder Bala Amarashikan received the award of Commander of the Order of the Rokel, Sierra Leone's highest honored award. Award a 3-year EU project to safeguard Outtoba Kilimili National Park in partnership with the Wild Chimpanzee Foundation. Integrated content for tape workbook in Sierra Leone National Curriculum, Science and Environment Symbols.